American Football Institute Sports Channel with former National Football League defensive tackle and now an NFL consultant, Chris Mamalanga.
Welcome to the American Football Institute. My name is Chris Mamalanga. I'm your host tonight. I'm super excited. We have a very special guest tonight, none other than Mr. Stanley Taufo'ou, who hails from USC Trojans. And Stanley has an incredible and phenomenal story. I was able to meet Stanley when he first came here to the US at the tender age of 15. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Stanley Taufo'ou. How's it going, Stanley?
I'm good. How you doing, Chris?
Man, I'm just thankful for another day and thankful that you made time to spend with us this evening. I understand you just got done with practice, huh?
Yes, we just got done with practice today. Thank you for having me today.
Nice, nice. Yeah, definitely. Thanks again for coming on. And when I reached out and found out you were available, I was excited because I know that what you were able to accomplish, coming here to the U.S. at the age of 15 and, so many different social challenges and language challenges and just acclimating to a new climate. I'm really eager to share with our audience a little bit about your story, about who you are and what makes you tick and kind of how you came here as a skinny kid from Tonga and earned a full football scholarship to one of the most prestigious universities in all of the United States, in the USC, University of Southern California Trojans. And so, let's get started, Stanley. Can you just share with us a little bit? We're going to get started with our first question here. Can you share with us a little bit about your family background, kind of where you grew up and kind of your family upbringing, like your parents and siblings and things like that, please?
Yeah, so I grew up in a little island in the Pacific called Tongan. Grew up my whole life out there, going to school out there, playing sport, playing rugby, all the sport I can play when I grew up. So if anybody don't know, the island I'm from is like a little island nobody know about it. It's like if you look at the map, it's like a little dot that you barely can find it. And I grew up with lovely parents. Had two older brother, and one little sister. Um, I played a lot of rugby. I was running track at the time when I was back at home. My didn't have. I grew up. My family didn't have a lot. Like didn't have much. So able to be here and where I'm at right now, it's a blessing.
Definitely, Stanley. I love your story because there's so many life lessons that our young folks can learn about overcoming adversity and things like that. First of all, you came here at what age, Stanley?
I came out here when I was only 15 years old.
15 years old. You became a freshman in high school, right?
Yes, I came here as a freshman in high school.
Right. I'll never forget when we picked you up from the airport, Stanley, and the first place we went to was In-N-Out Burger. You remember that?
Yes, I still remember that. I barely can eat
Yeah,
the food.
you and Paula, you guys came dressed in well, your Tongan attire, and
Mhm.
to see how far you've come and how much you've matured and how much you've grown up has truly been a pleasure. But let's go to our next question. What sports did you play up? I know you mentioned rugby, but growing up in Tonga, you played rugby. You say you played track. Did you play football in Tonga? Do they even have football in Tonga?
Uh,
American football.
I don't think they have football in Tonga, but I feel like probably right now they probably do have a football running at home. But when I was there was no football. Like nobody was know about American football. Probably only the people that traveled to America know about American football. But for people that grew up over there, didn't go overseas most of the time, don't even know about football. So all the sport that I was playing back at home was just rugby league or rugby union, running track, play 5-man soccer. Um, just pretty much it, and basketball too.
Nice. And can you kind of give us an idea or share with us a little bit what kind of emotions that were going through when you got on that plane and then you landed in LAX? Um, what can you kind of give us a
Yeah,
snapshot of that those
yeah,
emotions and
yeah.
kind of that experience?
Definitely it was a emotional experience because like knowing, you know, coming here to a different country, knowing that none of my family's gonna be around, nobody that I know is gonna be around, and then I'm gonna be staying here by myself, like with other people. So definitely was emotion. Like I was just thinking in my mind, like if I'm going to make it, if I'm going to achieve what I wanted to do when I came out here. But it was very emotional, yeah, knowing like nobody's out here. But at the same time, I was pretty excited because I know like a lot of people here take care of me, and I was looking forward for the opportunity to learn a new sport, learn go into a different environment, and learn the culture and everything.
Wow. So you came here from the South Pacific island of Tonga at the age of 15, left your entire family to pursue your dream in a sport that you had never played. Is that
Yes,
correct?
that's right. Yeah,
Wow. Wow, that's amazing, Stanley. Man, I just love that you had the guts and really the desire to go out there and fight for your dream. And we'll keep it going. I know you probably haven't had dinner yet since you just got back from practice over there in the field. So we won't take too much of your time. But let's go on to our next question, please. Was it tough leaving home to pursue your dreams of being in America, playing the sport you had never played? You kind of touched on that a little bit, but maybe you can kind of add a little bit to that,
yeah.
um, kind of like what your transition experience was like when you finally got to the U.S. What was kind of like the toughest part?
I think it was the toughest part, like when I got in here, like just knowing that I'm in a different environment. Like I'm staying with people that talk different language, like they do a different thing than what I used to do, like, and they're just being around like different people will just make it more challenging. Just not
Right.
knowing how to respond to a question, like not knowing like how to speak the language was a challenging part.
So your English, were you very fluent in English when you got here?
I wasn't. Um, all I know was the little words like is, duh, or that. That's the only thing I know about. Nothing about having a conversation. Like I don't even know how to start a conversation or talk about something. Start a conversation. That's right.
Right. Wow. That's awesome, man. How long was the transition for you before you finally got to a chance where you can actually have a decent conversation in your new language,
I think
aside
it.
from Tongan, of course, in
Yeah,
English.
I think it probably took me like a year just to get used to
Wow, a whole
everything,
year.
and then pick up like learning how to speak the language and like just a little thing. So after like a year, like I can be able to like have a conversation, but not like a full conversation. I can say something and I can know how to respond to somebody's question.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. Let's go to our next slide here, please. So you came here at the age of 15, Stanley, and when did you start playing football? Did you start
Uh,
playing football immediately, or did you wait a year?
I started playing football immediately when I got here.
So you got here,
It
and then
was
how? Like, was it a
2015.
week, or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks? Like,
I think it was
help us understand that transition.
I think so. Yeah, I got here and then meet up with the school, like tour around the school I was gonna go to, and like going meeting the teammate, the coaches, and then I think after like a week, and then when I started learning football, started to get a little bit of knowledge of what football is, but not fully understand what was going on.
Right. What was the your experience in a difference from going from one code in rugby and rugby league to playing football? What were the biggest differences for you?
I think the biggest difference was not running all the time, because I was used to just running from the other goal line to the other goal line back and forth. Because rugby is all about like fitness, like you just run, run, run all the time. So and then when I came here, like I started noticing like there's like a 5 second or like 10 second between every play. Like you gotta stop, huddle up, like get your blade right, and then going. So it was a little bit different because I always like to go fast every time. So
Right. Right. Wow. Yeah, definitely the tempo and
yeah,
kind of the pace of the game is definitely different between rugby
yeah,
and American football, which we stop and go, right? We go
yeah,
first down, stop, second
yeah,
down, stop.
yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Let's go on to our next question. How tough were the academics for you when you moved from the Tongan school system here to the U.S.? What was your experience from that standpoint?
It was definitely probably the challenging and the toughest uh, stuff I had to do in my life. Because not growing up back at home, like I really like know how to speak English. I didn't know how to say a word. So coming here and then knowing I'm going to a school that everybody just speak English, and I'm the only one that doesn't
Right.
know how to speak English. So that was the hardest part. But I think just being around like teammate, just hearing them talking, like just trying to pick up on like certain word, how to you know pronounce words. I think the most hardest part was understanding was the like a meaning of the word, like because most part like I understand what someone's saying, but I gotta translate it to Tongan and then translate it back to English so I can talk it back to whoever asking the question. So that was the
Right.
only part, yeah.
Were there any instances where you said the wrong word at the wrong time
Yeah, I
and
have yeah, a lot of my teammates always you know make fun of me, not make fun in a bad way, but just having fun. Whenever like I say a word and then they know that I say it wrong, they will just say it back to me. This is how you say it. But sometimes they help me out. Whenever like I struggle with trying to
right.
pronounce the word, like they always got my back, like trying to tell me, oh, this is how you pronounce it, this is how you say it the right way.
That's great. It's always good to have your boys get your
Yeah,
back, and I'm sure they taught you a lot of words that were good and a lot of words that weren't so
yeah,
good, right?
yeah, yeah.
Those are the words that you don't tell mommy about, right? Or moms about.
That's right.
Wow. Let me get that next question for you real quick here. Was it challenging for you, Stanley, to qualify academically for a full football scholarship?
It was. I think the challenging part was um, I had to redo my whole freshman year because I
Wow.
came 2015, like I barely passed my. I don't think I passed my class my freshman year, but all I know that I didn't pass most of my class in my freshman year. So my senior year, I had to take double class online and
Wow.
in class, so I'll be able to graduate and then come to USC.
Wow. And man, I think a lot of people, our viewers, may not understand, but the full value of a football scholarship to a prestigious institution, academic institution, and sports institution like University of Southern California, it's been estimated that it costs anywhere between 80 and 90,000 per year,
Wow.
all in room and board, food, books, training, the whole nine. And how does it feel to go from a 15-year-old skinny kid from Tonga transition to the U.S., not speaking English, how did you choose USC? Were there some other schools that you were talking to that you possibly could have went to instead of USC?
Definitely there was, a lot of school that I was talking to. One of them being Iowa State. I was being talked to them for a very long time, and then when I got the offer from SC, I didn't choose USC over Iowa because it's USC. But the reason why I choose it was out there all like official visit and stuff, like just them like talking about what is SC all about, and then just knowing the legacy of the school, the football, all the legend that came before me. It just make me want to stay here in California and go to USC, and then just going looking at the opportunity on, school, like how they run their academic, was one of the things that makes me want to come here because eventually football is gonna end, and then I'll be able to have like a degree that I can work with.
Yeah, that's great. So let's talk about that. Like football wise, obviously SC's had their challenges, and now you have a new coach in Lincoln Riley, and this is what your third D line coach? Is it
Uh,
third or fourth?
yeah, this is the third D-line, my D-line coach,
So
yeah.
you had Chad Kawa'a first,
And
and
then
then you
Coach Vic,
had Victor Otto, who just
yep,
got fired recently with the old staff, and then now you have Coach Nua.
Noah, yep, Coach Noah.
And how's been that adjustment to all the excitement with the new Oklahoma staff, along with Coach Nua, and what's kind of like the experience like with these new coaches so
I
far?
mean, yeah, it was definitely it was hard at the beginning, because like uh, everybody loved to go to a school that a coach that recruited him, but like at the
Yeah,
point, but when the coach that recruited you got taken out from the team, it's kind of hard to to think, oh, if I want to stay or if I want to leave, or how's the next coach gonna think about me? Um, but I take it, and then I stay. I choose to stay, and then because after we talked to Coach Riley, the first meeting we had, like I kind of understand where he's staying. Like what his vision for the team, how did he make it better for the whole team. So yeah.
awesome, awesome, man. It's got to be exciting. Where are you at right now academically? Are you close to graduating? I mean, how much? Well,
Yes.
what's kind of just want to have an understanding of where you at with your undergrad.
So the planning for right now is I'm trying to graduate at the end of this next semester. So
So in the summer or in the
in
winter?
the fall.
Or in the fall? In the
Yeah,
fall, got it. So you're going to be graduating from USC
yeah,
in this coming fall of
yes,
2022.
yeah. That's the plan right there.
Wow, that's awesome, man. To come here from Tonga and then earn a scholarship that's just under 400,000 USD in value. That's one of the things I love about American football and the system here that's a little bit different than rugby
Hmm.
is that here the farm system is the university college system.
Yeah,
And so if, for guys who get injured or guys who find a passion in another area, now it's not just about football. They can utilize that piece of paper
hmm,
to be able to build a life for themselves. So congratulations, Stanley. That's really
yeah,
a great accomplishment to be able to come here. I'm sure your family is proud of you and looking forward to bigger and greater things to come from you, especially coming this fall. I'm looking forward to watching you, especially since you became a starter this year. What did it feel like to be a starter on the defensive line at USC?
I mean, it's a dream come true, because when I came to SC, I came in as a linebacker, and then unfortunately I gained weight a little bit, so I had to move down to play D line, and then it was pretty hard the first year, my freshman year, trying to get used to playing inside D line and stuff, and then um, I got hold of it 2020. Got to know a little bit the movement, the steps, like how to play D line, and then last year I get the chance to start um, in the front, and then it was a blessing, just knowing like what I went, like the journey that I went through, just be able to start at USC is a blessing.
Awesome, man. It definitely is a blessing, and you know, it goes without saying. But you paid the price. You worked your butt off. There's only one place. Say there's only one place where success comes before work, and that's the dictionary, right?
Yeah.
So you definitely put in the work. Let's go. We have just a couple more questions, and I'll let you go and have your dinner. Can you share with our audience, please, Stanley, especially the young folks out there, what are the big three pieces of advice for an aspiring players out there wanting to succeed in American football? Maybe they're in New Zealand, or maybe they're in Australia, or maybe they're
Mhm.
in Tonga, or Samoa, or Fiji, or South Africa, or some other parts of the world, the UK. Um, what would your big three pieces of advice for someone thinking about coming here to do the same thing that you did, to come out here and fight for a dream and earn a full scholarship, and who knows, the NFL might be right around the corner, but if not, if the NFL is not in the cards, at least you got a piece of paper to show
Yeah,
that you achieved something, right? What
yeah.
would your big three be?
I think probably the first one is gonna be uh, just taking everything one at a time, because like for me, like when I first came here, um, everything was just went crazy, like school and stuff. Yeah, it was kind of all over everywhere. So like when you take everything one step at a time, eventually will become like it will be a success of whatever you wanted to do. And I think the second one is just being uncomfortable with being comfortable. You probably heard it a lot. Like, being
Definitely.
comfortable with being uncomfortable is probably the most important part. Like, if you're not comfortable with waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go for a run, if you're not comfortable with, going to the gym, like put the work in, you'll be able to feel comfortable when you're not comfortable. And then I think
Awesome.
the last one would be probably um, the choice you make um, is your choice. You can choose either to get a better outcome or choose to get a different outcome. It's your choice to make if you want to be success in whatever you do or if you don't want to be a success. That's about it.
Man, Stanley, that's awesome advice. And what would you say to some of the folks out there about the American Football Institute? I know when we first met, we didn't identify ourselves as AFI or American Football Institute, but how has American Football Institute been valuable as far as your journey here to success in the American football side?
I think it gave me this opportunity. I never know growing up, in the island, they'll have like this big opportunity to come to America and then go to a school and then be able to be here where I'm at right now is a blessing. And then, so thankful for everything that you guys done. I wouldn't be here if you guys wouldn't push me through in the beginning to be my best.
Definitely, and it goes without saying we got to mention our brother, Coach Siwaki Levi,
Yeah.
who was actually responsible for seeing you at our camp over there in Tonga with his group with PASE,
Hmm.
Polynesian American Sports and
Yeah.
Education. So thankful. I know he was in Hawaii originally, successful high school coach at Kahuku High School. Coach Levi is a dear and near friend of mine, and I know he was instrumental in your journey as well. So, man, Stanley, so thankful, and so appreciative. I'll let you get back to it, man. I know you gotta get those studies in and get some nutrition so you can rest up for the next day. But wish you the best of luck, Stanley,
Thank you.
moving forward. Don't forget to follow us on our website, American Football Institute, as well as on YouTube. Like and subscribe our page on YouTube, and follow us every week here on Wednesdays. We're talking to folks from all over the world with regards to what we do in helping kids realize their American football dreams and maximize their dreams. So it'll be in the evening time on Wednesdays. Look forward to you guys joining us next week and following our pages and on Facebook and then on Instagram. And we'll see you guys at the top. Thank you very much.
Thank you.